Okay, a bunch of poems about different things. A Florida fable. An upsetting tale has been told that the governor of the land of fun and sun has signed a bill that opponents say really means don't say gay. Whoa, said a Disney Mickey. My closest friend Goofy may or may not have been of that persuasion. I never asked, but no matter whether he is or not, your bill is offensive. Mickey went on, Disney World is one of the state's largest generator of taxes and employer of thousands, and we will fight you. Now it seems that the mouse has lost the battle to a resolute governor. Yet it is possible that the battle is not really over. I have known since I was young that you do not fuck with Donald Duck. The Mind March. Yesterday, I found out that a friend who I did not know was ill had just died. As I thought about her and our friendship, it soon started the march through my mind of others no longer here. Parents, relatives, friends, acquaintances. The thoughts were both sad and comforting, and somewhat sad and comforting to know that sometime I will be in the mind march of others. And then an old poem. After Paris, I very often go, as does Rusty and Therese and others, to Curly's, which is something that's been going on for 20 some odd years in Stanford. At Curly's, written about 2015, the last night I went to a poetry reading by a friend in Stamford, Connecticut, about 40 miles from my house. The group has been meeting once a week for about 20 years. This is my fourth time there, as was other times, a very pleasant experience. After the main reader read a collection of her work, the rest of us each read one or two poems. Then we sat around discussing esoteric points, why we write poetry, responsibility of poetry to society, can poets actually cause change, and many like topics. Then we bought each other's books and went home. I wonder if books of poetry are ever sold to people not writing poetry or taking a course in it. The enjoyable evening reminded me that we poets are the funny bunch. Afterward, that was 7 years ago. Then COVID arrived and changed the world. Now we meet online via Zoom, and we have brought in poets from all over who could have never come to Stanford. It is still a wonderful experience, but different, and we poets are still a very funny bunch. I'll conclude with an older poem that was on my mind just recently. Grandparents. My four grandparents came from Ireland, young and unmarried, United States. My mother's parents went to Charleston, Massachusetts, where they met, married, and had children. My father's parents did the same in New York. I never knew three of them. Only my father's mother survived into my memory. I never really liked her. But what courage they must have had. Would I have been able to pick up, leave family and friends behind, and sail off on a coffin ship across the ocean? I doubt it, but I certainly owe them. Thanks for putting up with me.